And every dollar, of course, that Vladimir Putin brings in right now, he can put towards his war effort, which the CIA today said was not going as planned.
I think Putin is angry and frustrated right now. He's likely to double down and try to grind down the Ukrainian military with no regard for civilian casualties.
CIA director said Putin premised his war on 4 false assumptions. He thought Ukraine was weak. He believed Europe was distracted and wouldn't mount a strong response. He thought Russia's economy was prepared to withstand sanctions and that Russia's military had been modernized and would fight effectively. Putin has been proven wrong, at least thus far, on each of those calculations. One man who has been spot on with his assessment of Vladimir Putin and his intentions is Dmitri Alperovitch of the Silverado Policy Accelerator, former special advisor to the Department of Defense. He called this back in December. This tweet's from December. Kremlin has unfortunately made decision to invade Ukraine later this winter. That was 3 months ago, he wrote it. Dmitri is with us now. Does Vladimir Putin yet feel backed into a corner?
I think he absolutely does. He's been shocked by these sanctions. He's been shocked by the resistance that the Ukrainians are putting up. So he is, as CIA Director Burns said, he's going to double down. He's going to keep going. And frankly, the talk in Moscow is that both Europe and the U.S. are not going to be able to sustain these sanctions because of the increase in the price of gas at the pump that you just talked about, because of the dangers of lack of supply of natural gas this winter in Europe. That's what they're counting on.
You read some of the headlines out there. LA Times, unhinged or calculating. Russia's Putin keeps everyone guessing. Daily Star, Putin facing mutiny from Russian spies, furious at total failure in Ukraine. New York Times, U.S. intelligence weighs Putin 2 years of extreme pandemic isolation as factor in his wartime mindset. How good is our understanding of Vladimir Putin's thought process right now?
Well, I don't think it's particularly good because he's so isolated. Most people that are in his Security Council don't understand his thought process. So I'm not sure that the U.S. intelligence community is any better at it because he doesn't meet with anyone. He barely talks with anyone. He's, of course, so afraid of COVID. But we can infer a lot, and it's clear that he's angry, that things are not going the way they expected. They're getting bogged down. The casualties are pretty high. And the sanctions are really taking, and the unilateral decisions of companies to pull out of Russia are taking the Russian economy into a downward spiral.
What's the flip side of that? As oil prices going up, he continues to make more and more money. And as John said, he knows that he has the Europeans come next winter on natural gas.
Well, we'll see. I think once you start to see pictures coming out and videos coming out of the siege of Kiev, that's probably coming in the next couple of weeks, and it's going to be just so barbaric that I think that even the Europeans are going to decide that it's not worth it, that they're going to figure out how to ration the gas, get the LNG supplies from Qatar and elsewhere, and they're going to ban that oil. I think it's coming. And
wow. Well, you have been spot on. And when you say the siege of Kiev, you know what the images of death and despair and destruction are going to be like because you've covered it for so long. I wanted to get you on this issue of the MiG fighters. And the polls were going to give the MiGs to the United States and Germany, and then the United States was going to repaint them and send them to the Ukrainians in Russia. The MiG is this fighter jet from the Soviet era that the Poles still have. The Ukrainians know how to fly. There's pictures of them. This is falling apart. NATO says it's not going to work. Why the obsession of this? And like you said, it feels like there's a lot better ways to shoot down Russian aircraft than this shell game of fighter jets.
Well, as we talk, Leland, air defense systems, and particularly the Soviet air defense systems that some of the former Warsaw countries have, like Poland and Bulgaria, much more effective at shooting down those planes. Ukrainians don't have a lot of fighters left. Their airfields are getting attacked all the time by Russian missiles. So it's very precarious for them to even fly these planes anymore. And the options for doing so, unfortunately, are dwindling. And of course, getting them to Ukraine is very dangerous as well. If you're going to fly them from a NATO base, as the U.S. said today, it's very provocative because Russia can treat you as a combatant in this war.
Yeah. Dmitri, we're always grateful for your time and for the deep knowledge you've got on this. Thank you. Dmitri Alperovitch of the Silverado Policy Accelerator. Good to see you. Thanks for watching. Click the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.